Hi everybody, and welcome to my labor and delivery post. I didn't think that I was gonna make it this early, because since most of you guys know, my baby girl Neema, she arrived 5 weeks early, and in a hurry. So right now I'm actually at the hospital. So things were going along just as usual, and then comes Sunday. Um, I woke up like at 6 o'clock in the morning, like I mentioned in my video afterwards. And actually, I woke up the first time at 5 o'clock in the morning because my sinuses, they were really, really hurting. And so I got up and took a painkiller and then tried to go back to sleep. At 5 o'clock in the morning, Sam got home actually from a really, really long night out with his friends, and went to sleep at that time. Actually, pretty drunk, in a happy state, but I didn't really think much about it. And then at 6 o'clock, I decided that I was getting really, really uncomfortable, and something was definitely going on, and so I just couldn't stay asleep anymore. So I got up, and that's when I started getting this really weird back pain, lower back pain, and I've never had that before. So I figured, that's weird. So I dug out this warm water bottle, and I walked around with it on my back, and it went away. So I was cool with it. I went a little bit on the internet, and I chatted with my sister, who was already up, and then I started getting this lower stomach pain, and that was really, really weird. Because I mentioned that I've been having like this menstrual cramps, but this was more annoying than all of those cramps that I've been having up until then. So somewhere around something like 9:30, I decided that I was gonna take a bath because at the birding class, they told us that if you start feeling having pains, that we're having pains, you should take a bath, because if you take a bath, it could go away, and that means that it's like false labors. Otherwise, if it doesn't go away, or if it doesn't like hurt more, then that definitely means that something's going on. So that's what I did. I took a bath. But for Sam, sleeping, probably with a big hangover, I went into a bedroom and I told him I wasn't really clear with him, so I told him Sam, I need you to scrub the bath, and he was like, what? Why do you want to do that? No, why don't you do it? And I'm like, no, I really need you to scrub the bath, and I didn't tell him why, and so he wouldn't do it, and then I said, well, okay, fine. Well, could you at least massage my back? So I sat down, literally with my ass up his face, and he was like, and then I'm like, fine, you don't do it, and I'm just gonna keep going on my own. And so I started pacing back and forth again in the apartment with my hot water bottle pressed against my back, pressed against my belly, and actually I wasn't that much in pain by then, so it was okay, I wasn't dying or anything. But then I figured, okay, so maybe I wasn't really clear with him. I went back to him and I told him, look, listen, I'm kind of in pain. I need to take a bath to see if it goes away or not. So I need you to scrub the bath so I can take a clean bath. So in the end, he did get up. He took a Tylenol for his head and scrubbed the bath, and I could take my bath. And it went away at the beginning, but then all of a sudden, instead of having this constant pain, it started coming and then going, and then coming and then going, and that's when I was like, that's not the way it's supposed to be, not at 35 weeks. So I got out, I think I got out somewhere like 10 to 11 or something, and decided, okay, that's it, I'm calling the hospital, I need to find out what to do. So that was 11:17, like I mentioned in my video. And so I went to Sam, and I woke him up and I said, look, listen, I've taken a bath, I'm still in pain, I've talked to the hospital, and they told me to come in. I need you to get up. So he got up, took a quick shower, got dressed, and so off we went. So I think we left home somewhere around 11:20. No, that couldn't. 11, let's say 11:30, and we got at the hospital at 11:45. So I think it took something like 15 to 20 minutes for us to walk. And at the beginning, walking was fine. But then it started hurting a lot more. Enough for me to actually start crying halfway to the hospital because it started getting really, really bad. And by the time we actually started getting closer to the hospital, I was in pretty bad shape actually. I had to stop and bend down, and I got this feeling that I was having contractions but no breaks in between. Just a constant pain, just building up and basically just becoming unbearable. And so by the time we actually got up to the hospital, I couldn't stand still. I was bending down and I was panting and I was like walking around in circles. And so someone let us in, and they asked me, so since when has this been going on? And they wanted me to pee because they figured maybe it could be your UTI, and that set everything off. I never got to pee because I was so much in pain and I just couldn't squeeze anything out. And then they wanted me to lie down, and I was like, seriously, I can't lie down. And they go like, well, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to lie down. We need to check you. And so in the end, finally managed to lie down. That was torture. And actually they said afterwards when we talked to them that I was, outwards, I was presenting all of the typical physical signs of someone in real labor. And they started checking me, and that's when they told me that I was already open 4 centimeters. And we were like, what? And funny thing was that she said, okay, you're open 4 centimeters, we're gonna keep you. She didn't actually say that you're gonna have a baby today. She just said you were gonna keep you. And so I'm kind of like in a haze because I just went straight into the pain, and Sam was standing by, not really realizing anything either. And he did actually say after that when the midwife pulled out her hand, it was covered in blood. Now, I didn't see that. And what I also didn't see that was that when I got up, because they had to bring us into the delivery room, I left a trail of blood behind me on the bed. And since I hadn't seen any of this, Sam apparently got in the way so that I couldn't turn back and see all the blood in the bed. But apparently he was freaking because he was like, oh my god, there's blood. And then he said, well, if the midwife doesn't seem concerned about it, then okay, I'll try not to be concerned about it either. So they brought us into the delivery room. I think they started stripping me off my clothes, get me into the hospital gown, because we didn't bring anything. And also because I was really seriously in pain, and by then the contractions, they were really just contractions non-stop, no break whatsoever in between. So they didn't even bother asking me if I wanted an epidural. They just went ahead and called for the anesthesiologist, I think. Who came really, really fast, so I'm really happy about that. Not a fun experience, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. The only thing that was really, really bad was that since I was having a constant contraction, so no breaks whatsoever in between, sitting up, bending forward, and bending your head down while you're holding a cushion, and when someone's holding your shoulder to make sure that you're sitting still, and with someone behind you trying to poke you, and they tell you that, okay, as of now you cannot move at all, otherwise we're gonna have to start all over. That's not easy. All the while you're having a huge, massive, long contraction. And so apparently the lady said, well, she's having a contraction, And I remember the midwife holding me saying that, yeah, but she's got really, really long contractions, so you're gonna have to go ahead anyway. So they went ahead. It was okay. Seriously, guys, it was really okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And I mean, the bliss afterwards, when you start feeling the pain going away and you can actually breathe again and you can actually come back to your senses and all. Don't say no, guys. Don't. Sam's laughing.